Hey guys, what's up? Let me go in here and sit in a different spot. Also, I have to get on my account and share this video. So give me a second to get myself together, y'all. Okay? Okay. Hey Natalie, I know you're back there, baby. Hold on just a second, okay? I gotta turn my air up because it's a little cold. Because Mama be getting it cold in here. Okay. All right. Damn, I look good. Okay. That's a good one. That's a good. Bada bing. Again, it's always an issue to get my freaking shit set up because I need a new tripod because I broke my last one. So, okay. Just have to lean it against stuff. Okay, let me get this. So I think it's on private right now. So nobody can see us. Yep, how did I know? All right. What's up, you guys? Okay, now we are on and popping. Now we are on and popping. Hey, everybody. Come on in. Come on in. Join us. Natalee King. And I discuss her addiction and recovery story. Okay, now I'm going to share this video. All right, everybody that comes in here, if y'all don't mind helping me out by sharing the video, liking the video, and inviting your friends. Sharing the video, liking the video, and inviting your friends. I'm going to do the same. Today, we're going to have my friend Natalie on. She's going to talk about her addiction and her recovery, how she got sober, and what she's doing today to stay sober. And then we'll talk a little bit about her Suboxone taper, but that video is up on my YouTube channel if you guys have not gotten to see it. I have a whole video with her whole Suboxone taper journey up on my YouTube channel right now. So you can find that there. Hold on just a second. If y'all don't mind helping me share the video into some recovery groups, so that way they'll see us. Okay. For some reason, I'm doing it through StreamYards because it just looks better, I think. Okay. All right, Natalie, I'm going to bring you on. Okay, girl? Hey, Allie. What's up, baby? Add. Hey, girl. What are you doing?
Oh, I'm trying to plug my phone in.
Okay. What's up, Nat?
Hey.
Okay. Layout. Let me see how this goes. There we go. That's better. Okay, cool. Take your time. Hey, Cassandra. Hey, guys. We're going to listen to Natalie tell her story about how she got into addiction and then how she got sober. And then after that, we'll talk a little bit about Suboxone and stuff. But like I said, I have her video on my new YouTube channel. A lot of you guys have been asking me if I got my YouTube channel back, and the answer to that question is no, I did not. YouTube didn't even respond to me. They didn't even give a fuck. So I started a new one. And you can find my new account at Nicole Recovers. Just type in Nicole Recovers and it'll pull up my YouTube account on YouTube, okay? So, but this is not about me. This is about Natalie. So you hear that? Can you hear that? They're freaking mowing the lawn outside. Oh, well, I'll mute myself while you're talking so that way people will only hear you. Okay. Because I don't want them to hear that mowing, the lawn mowing, you know.
You can't hear
But
nothing.
Natalie is my really good friend. We're actually becoming really close friends. We talk on the phone every single day.
Yep.
And I don't talk to people like that very often because I I just get like in bad situations or I get myself in trouble online. So I really like Natalee and I trust her judgment. And so she's somebody that I've already brought on my channel once because she has been able to taper off of Suboxone successfully, which I'm so proud of her because that inspires me too. So I would like it, Natalee, if you would share with us about your recovery story. Like, tell us about how you got into active addiction, like a little bit of what it was like when you were growing up as a kid, and then take us into how you got onto drugs. Tell us the whole story. Right. And if I have any questions, you know the deal. I'm going to mute myself so that way they don't hear the lawn mowing, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
So, basically my childhood was really, I had a good childhood. It was kind of chaotic at times. My parents drank a lot. We did grow up in bars, but I feel like in the 90s, that was kind of popular to do. So
I think it was too. Like my parents were super Christian, so I didn't experience that, but I do know that like it wasn't like a shameful thing for your parents to like drink alcohol or anything like that.
It was like real normal, and they were military, which made it even more normalized. So both of them were in the military. I have an older sister and a younger brother, so I'm in the middle. At 18 years old, my older sister, she had a bad drug addiction. She had mental health issues. I don't know what led her down the path of addiction and the things that she did. I think it was mental health. So at 18, she actually died from a drug overdose when I was 18 years old, and she was 26. So that was really hard on me. And
what did she overdose on?
So she was taking a mixture. She went to those pill mills in Houston at the time. It was like 2006, 2007. So she went to those pill mills in Houston, and I would go with her. And it was crazy, but she overdosed on a combination of Vicodin or Lortabs, Xanax, and Somas.
Yep. Oh my God, the trifecta. Yep. The trifecta. Opiates, benzos, and Soma muscle relaxers.
Yes.
I was in my active addiction that time, and we would go to pill mills in Florida.
Yes.
And that's exactly what we would get is Oxys.
It was crazy.
Xanax and Soma.
They used to prescribe like 120 Vicodin, like 90 Xanax, 90 Somas. It was crazy. Yeah. They just wrote the scripts out. And then after we would leave one doctor, we'd go to another doctor and get another huge script like that.
Because back then, you could go to multiple doctors because they didn't have the cures program out yet, where a doctor or where the pharmacy could look at, or a doctor or any medical professional could look up and say, oh, Natalee's been to this doctor, this doctor, this doctor, and this doctor this month. They hadn't came out with that yet. So you could literally get multiple prescriptions from multiple doctors. Easy peasy.
Yeah. Easy. All you had to do is say, I have a bad back, and they're like,
yeah,
and they'll just write you a script. And it killed a lot of people.
A lot.
My sister was one of them, and that was a hard day. I'll never forget it. But
were you and your sister like really close? Like, I know you're a middle child. I'm the oldest. There's 3 of us girls. My sister Michelle, the middle child, and me are really close. And then my sister, Michelle, and the baby sister are really close. So, I was best friends with my sister.
Growing up, because we were in a military family, we moved around a lot. Like, I was born in Puerto Rico. We moved to Hawaii. That's cool. Yeah. And we moved to Hawaii, and then we moved to Texas. So it's always been us 5, my mom and dad, my brother, and my sister. So we were extremely close. And this was a devastating loss for our family.
Yeah.
It's devastating regardless, but I'm just saying it was hard on our family. And in the meaning of that grief, I didn't really know what to do. I kind of dabbled a little bit in pills with my sister. And then I dabbled after her death because that's what I grew up around, hanging out around her. And, but I didn't get bad into an addiction at that time.
Yeah.
So I ended up joining the Air Force, and I got sent to Japan, and that's where I met my husband. And, we had it was like a whirlwind romance, and it was wonderful. And, we got married in Japan. I had a baby, and it was a boy. He has a namesake. So I got to name my son after him, which was real amazing. And then 8 months after I had my baby, he was killed in the Air Force.
Ugh.
And that death changed me for the rest of my life. I mean, Nicole, it was so hard. Like, it was different than the death of my sister, because I had a future planned with this man. And not only did I lose him and our past memories, but I got the future ripped away from me. And, you know, still to this day, it's been 10 years and I still mourn the future we should have had together.
For sure.
It was devastating. He was killed in an on-base accident. He was pinned against a wall by a vehicle driven by another airman who didn't know how to drive it. And so it pinned him against the wall from the sternum down, and they tried to revive him for about 47 minutes, and he just couldn't make it.
Yeah.
And so that was really hard on me. And I had my son now, and God, I didn't know what I was going to do. Well, I was 23 at this time, so I was still real young. And I moved in with my in-laws, whole big story there. Anyways, I got addicted. They prescribed me Xanax like the day after he died. They came to my bedside at the hotel I was staying at on base, and they wrote me a script of Xanax. And I got addicted to those really quickly because I noticed like my tolerance was going up. And oh my gosh, I had to take more and more. And then it got to the point where I was blacking out. And, you know, I would go days would pass and I wouldn't even remember it. But at the time I was so depressed and sad that I liked that. Like,
oh yeah, for sure.
I was happy that a week would go by and I didn't remember anything. I'd be like, oh, time's flying by. Like in my head, I always, in my addiction and my depression, I always thought like, this is one day closer to me meeting my husband again. Like I was almost chasing death at this time in my life. It got worse. My addiction got worse. And when I was on Xanax, I would try any drug that was in front of me. Don't matter. Yeah. I'll do it. I don't know why, but I did. And it got to the point where I started injecting meth. And that was probably my rock bottom. Like I knew this was not good. Like I knew this was bad.
You figure it out real quick I feel like when you start injecting any drug really, but particularly methamphetamine, it's like it fucks with your reality, man, because you're like staying up and you're not sleeping and you're hot. It's such a, like, it's just fucks with your reality. That's the only way I can think of it. And you're like so detached. Plus you're taking Xanaxes. So you're like checking out of life, like, for long periods of time and then coming back. And then you're not even realizing that 3 or 4 days have just passed, you know?
Exactly.
It's really hard.
You're right about that. I was checking out like any type of pain or feeling that I felt. I would get high.
Why didn't the Air Force get you into grief counseling or some kind of grief treatment?
Nicole, after my husband died, they did not give a crap about us. I truly feel that way. Like it's sad because my whole family has given up their lives for the military.
Yeah.
And, you know, my brother is still active duty today. My parents both retired. My sister was a medic in the Air Force. And, you know, we've given so much to them and they just treat us like this. I don't know. I
think they do that to veterans that are like, look at all the people that are homeless. Veterans.
I know. It's the VA is so screwed up.
That should never happen. A person who served for their country should never not have a place to live.
I agree. So, you know, in my addiction, I started shooting meth and I was hanging out with the wrong people. I was in and out of rehabs. I was Baker acted. I don't know how many times. I was really struggling. And I remember I signed my son. I voluntarily signed my son custody over to my parents because my mom and dad told me, they said, I don't think you're going to make it out of your addiction. they already lost my sister. So why wouldn't they believe that, So I signed custody of my son over, and that was probably the hardest decision I ever had to make, but I knew it was the right one.
Yeah, for sure. It'd be better to sign your son over to your mom and dad than him get caught up because you get in trouble, or you're driving down the road, you have an accident, and you go to jail for being intoxicated, and your son's in the back of the car, and they take him and put him in foster care.
That's exactly what my mom said. She said, I am going to do everything I can to make sure he doesn't get put in the system, because the path that you're on, he's going to end up there. And she's like, I can't have that. And my mom isn't the type of mom that like watches my kids either. So this was like a big deal for her to do.
Right. That's how my mother-in-law is. She doesn't watch our son. Like me and my husband, she literally lives, I could walk to her house in stone throw.
My mom lives 10 minutes away, and I refuse to ask her to watch my boy now, especially now, since she had custody of JJ for so long, for a few years. I was like, I ain't asking her shit. Like, I ain't asking her nothing.
You're so lucky that she took custody of him, because he would have gotten in the system. Yeah, for sure.
If it wasn't for my mother, she has been there like for me through everything. She was there when my sister died. I remember when they unzipped my sister from the body bag, my mom was just over her and kissing her and screaming and crying, and hearing that pain in my mom hurt me like so bad. I can't imagine the pain that they went through.
I can't imagine losing somebody. I mean, I feel like you've lost a lot of people, your sister and your husband, and your dad. You didn't tell us about your dad yet.
Right. I'm getting there.
Okay. Sorry. So, you've had a lot of loss in your life. Like, that's just a lot.
I try to like understand it, and I in my own head, like reasonings why, and I don't know, I just don't have an answer.
I feel like God puts it on people that he knows that could be able to handle it, and you're still able to like function and be a human being. And imagine if it was somebody else, like maybe if that had happened in my life, I might have taken my own life or something like that. You know what I mean?
And, in my addiction, after I signed my son over, I did try to take my life. I had a Mustang at the time, and I crashed it into a light pole in an intersection.
Oh, wow.
I totaled it, went to the hospital. I was institutionalized again, because that's what they do when you have,
And when going in and out of these institutions and being Baker acted, did it do anything? Were you like thinking about changing or anything?
Yes, I wanted to change. I wanted to, and I wanted to be sober, but I didn't know how to do it with the pain that I was feeling.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to cope, I guess. But at the time, I don't know if it helped me at the time, but in looking back now, I think it did give me tools to start healing.
To have for the future. Like, you might have not been using those tools then, but like like when you went to treatment, at least you were learning about steps and learning about admitting that you had a problem and that kind of thing, even though you didn't use them at that time, right?
Exactly. And at the time, I only knew of like NA and AA, so it had to be complete abstinence. That's what my thought was to recover, was either I'm a drug addict or I have to be totally sober. And it wasn't till later that I realized that's not what recovery or healing is. You recover how you recover on your own.
Right.
And so anyways, at the end of my addiction, or in the middle of my addiction, I was real bad off. And I met a guy online. He asked me out on a date, and he told me that he went to high school with my husband. So he knew me, but he didn't like know me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So anyways, I went on a date with him, and I got really high on Xanax, and I passed out the whole time. He actually took a picture of me and everything. And he took me to my parents' house, put me in bed, made sure I got home safely. He went up to my mom and dad, and he said, hey, I didn't know that she was an addict this bad. Like, I knew she had issues, but I didn't know she was this bad off. And he said, I'd love to try to help her if you guys will let me, all this stuff. And so they agreed, and he had just gotten out of the Army. So he didn't have a job or anything at the time. He was out of the Army. And so he was able to come to my house every single day and be by my side. Well, he helped get me sober in 2 years. I tapered off his Xanax, and he would hold my medication for me and give it to me to taper me down. And oh my gosh, those videos that you saw, that was me like having mental breakdowns, searching everywhere for the Xanax. I mean, that's me.
I've done that before. I'm not going to even.
My mom and Justin would take them and hide them and stuff. And I would have freakouts and mental breakdowns because I didn't have any. Those are those videos that you saw of me tapering and withdrawal. So anyways, after that happened, I ended up at the end of my Xanax taper. This is a blessing. I got pregnant at the very end of it. And the next day, when I found out I was pregnant, I stopped the Xanax completely because I was so low.
Yeah.
And I thought, that was my second chance. And so it was. And Justin and I have been together 7 years. He stuck by my side the entire time. And we have a little boy. Well, Nicole, I've always been scared that another tragedy would happen. I mean, it's been my life. Like, this is what happens to me. And I've always been afraid of my own mind. Like, what is going to happen to me? Am I going to go back into, drugs, depression? Who knows? And that reality became true when my brother called me one day, and he said, Dad shot himself in the head, but he survived it. I was like, what the
why did he do that?
So he was diagnosed with ALS just 3 years prior to this. And my dad, Justin's here.
Oh, that's cool. Hey, Justin.
And my dad, so he was a military guy. He was a helicopter rescue swimmer. He had a badass job. He saved many, many people throughout his career. And he too had mental health issues. What really bothered him was like the rescues of people that he couldn't save, the people that died and stuff. And that fucked with his head. And I don't know. Anyways, he ended up shooting himself in the head, but he's talked about suicide like throughout my life. He would say weird things. And so like, I was surprised when he did it, but I wasn't like too surprised. I don't know. Anyways, he lost his right eye, and I moved him into my home to take care of him since he had ALS. He couldn't move. We had to give him baths, shave him, everything, toilet, everything.
Wow.
He had a
Your poor dad.
tube. It was so sad. He had a feeding tube and everything. I had to mush up all his medications that he had. He had all sorts of meds, and I had to mush him up and push him through the tube and everything. That was hard.
Yeah.
And so anyways, he ended up passing away a few months after I moved him into my home. And we had a beautiful funeral for him, but I've been able to stay in my recovery through this whole time. And if it wasn't for my recovery, I wouldn't have been able to take care of my dad and have those.
No, you would have been eating all his medication.
Yeah, I would. And I wouldn't have been able to have those memories with him for the past, few months that he lived. Like, that was so important to me to have that. So anyways, yeah, I guess that's it. I've been sober. I've been in recovery since then. And I was on Suboxone 9 years, and I just got off Suboxone.
What made you decide to get on subs? How did you decide that?
Okay, so that's another story. I was on Suboxone, so it's 9 years. This year was 9 years. I started taking my dad's. My dad was prescribed Suboxone. This was like a year or less after my husband died. I started taking like small pieces of it.
Yeah.
And I worked myself up to 2 strips a day. I thought that taking more would get me high. And
I know what you mean. I used to do the same thing.
I'm an idiot. So I gotten myself in this big mess. And so my dad found out I was taking his Suboxone, and he sent me to his doctor. And I told the doctor what I did and what I'm taking. He knew I was an addict. He knew I was addicted to subs because I was taking my father's. And because he was a pain management doctor and because of my previous car accidents, he prescribed me Suboxone. And he told me he would help. He said he would help get me off of it eventually.
Yeah.
And he was a really good doctor. He saw me through my whole addiction and stuff, and they would drug test me and stuff. I'd try to always be clean when I went to see him and stuff. But so I got on Suboxone that way. And then I started tapering. Once I was off of my Xanax and meth, I started like feeling ready to taper.
When you jumped off, you said something about jumping off of. How low were you when you got pregnant and jumped off of Xanax? How low were you on your Xanax?
Oh gosh, I'd have to ask Justin. I don't know. I was on a real small dose.
And like, because Melissa's trying to taper off of her benzo too, and I know, like, I mean, if you had jumped off and you had been in the danger zone, like, you would have. I know something bad would have happened, I would think, you know. But some people jump off. Like for me, you guys, when I jumped off of benzos, I didn't jump off of them because I wanted to, because the treatment center kicked me off of them. I was taking bars and I had no seizures or anything. Like, some people's bodies respond differently. So that's why I just tell people all the time, like, just taper slowly and do what's best for your body. You know what I mean?
Right. I was probably taking like at the height of my addiction, when I first started tapering the Xanax, I was probably taking like 8 to 10 milligrams a day.
Yeah. Because
I remember just popping 3 of them as soon as I woke up just to get me started. So I had to be on. I didn't really keep track of like how many I was taking because I would always forget anyway. But if I had to guess, I'm guessing maybe 8 to 10 milligrams. And that's scary. At the end of my taper, I'd have to ask Justin. I know he's the one that did
I was taking upwards to like 14 milligrams, like 7 bars at a time. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
At a time. I remember me and Neil like going out and buying them and like taking those and then shooting oxys. Like, we just didn't think about the ramifications of what we were doing to our bodies. Now that I'm older and like I'm experiencing high blood pressure, I'm struggling with my weight, lack of motivation and all that stuff. Now it's like, damn, dude, I did a lot of damage to my body when I was younger, you know?
I know.
We paid the price.
It really does so much damage to our bodies. Like, oh my gosh.
So you got on subs. I knew that. I already knew that. I knew because your dad was on them too. And so you lost your dad, you lost your sister, and you lost your husband, you know, in the span of like 20 years, right?
Not even like 10 years.
10 years? Oh, that's a lot of loss. That's a lot of loss. Yeah. But you are sober now and you're staying sober and you're off Suboxone, which is really a big deal, you guys. Like,
oh my gosh.
And she's trying to come off mental health medications, but I told her she needed to stop and slow down because she's trying to do too much.
This is why I love Nicole. She tells me the truth and she tells me straight up.
Because you have accomplished so much coming off of Suboxone. And like, I know you are like all radiant and shiny and happy and stuff, but Nicole, I know.
I feel so good. I am so surprised. It's been what, a month, right?
Yeah. Maybe a little bit more than that.
Yeah, maybe a little bit more. Nicole, I feel amazing.
Are you not waking up in the morning with like post-acute, like, because
no,
they say post-acute withdrawal can last up to like 2 years, even longer. Like, you're not having, I know your body feels good, but what about like mental health wise, depression, anxiety, anything like that?
So before I jumped off completely, during my previous tapers, I noticed a dip in my mental health. I did. And I remember waking up in the morning and staring off like on my wall. And I thought to myself, I'm feeling kind of shitty. Like, and it happened like 3 days in a row. Well, I don't know what I'm doing. I started that happy juice. I swear to God. And it has helped stable me out. I continued taking it at the end of my taper. and I haven't had any dips.
How long were you taking it during your taper? How long have you been taking it total? How many months?
About a month.
Okay, a month. So you've been on Happy Juice for a whole month.
Well, maybe a month and a half now, but
okay. And I just started mine today, you guys. That's what I was drinking earlier today, and that's why I tried it, because Natalee did it with her taper, and we are friends. And like, you know how there's people online who like talk about this and that, and they're trying to sell you stuff, but like, she's my friend, right? So like, I asked her, like, are you sure that this really helped you? Because like, I have people that follow me, and I'm going to try it, and if they see that if it's really actually helps, like, I want to share it with my audience, but I don't want to do it and like try to sell people stuff, you know?
That's how I am. I want to tell people about it, but I don't want people to be like, you're trying to sell it. Like, I'm just
right.
I'm not saying that it will work for everybody. I don't know.
Right.
But I'm telling you for me, I have felt so freaking good, Nicole.
And you came off Suboxone. Like, that's like you don't understand. This is why I'm so like, because I see other people that have come off Suboxone, even tapering, they're depressed. They're not feeling good. Like, this is a big deal that you are feeling so well.
Noticed in the past month since I've been off Suboxone, I have been posting more and been talking more and things like that. Someone else pointed that out to me. And I was like, oh, I have been posting more.
Yeah, you have been posting more. I noticed that.
Well, I think it's because I just feel so good. And I don't know if it's because I got off the Suboxone.
Do you work out? Because people will look at you and see that you're in shape and stuff. So do you go work out and stuff?
Okay, so let me just explain real quick.
And how do you eat? Tell us what you eat. Do you eat regular food like me?
Yes. So I eat regular food. I eat whatever the fuck I want.
Me too. Okay, good.
And
we ate vegans.
Yeah, no, I eat whatever I want, and I probably shouldn't. I should probably be healthier, but whatever. I eat whatever I want. But let me tell you, I have a hyperthyroid, and my whole family is so thin. Like, we're very thin people.
So hyperthyroid is what makes the thyroid makes you lose weight.
It's hard for me to gain weight.
Okay.
And like it's almost as hard for me to gain weight as it is for other people to lose weight.
Okay. And I have the opposite of what you have. I have hypo. And it actually runs in my family. Like, my mom has it. My sisters have it. I just have to get medication to treat it. I have no medication to treat it. And then that would probably help me. But I think a lot of us women have like that going on with us, thyroid or hormone issues.
Yes. Hey, that Happy Juice balances out your hormones.
Yeah. I was reading the gut health one. So my main focus is trying to get myself in shape, you guys. I want to lose more weight because I have lost weight. I was almost 250 pounds last year and the year before that. And now I'm down to like 205, 206. And I'm proud of myself because I was almost 300 pounds, dude. I don't even know how. It's like one day I woke up and I was almost 300 pounds. It literally happened that quickly. But Natalee has like been able to get off Suboxone and have like, she's not over here like going crazy. And I'm not trying to be mean or funny, but I see a lot of people come off subs on TikTok and on other platforms. They come off this medication, you guys, and then they are so depressed and they get back on. That's what happened to me. I got back on Suboxone because I was depressed. I couldn't handle the depression.
I don't know if it's because I tapered so slow or it's a combination of both.
I think it's a combination of both. I think it's a combination of having a supplement. Did I scare you? Sorry. Sorry about that. Having the supplement to help you with your overall state of mind, and then going down really, really slowly and having like other people support that are doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Yeah, you're right.
So what I'm doing is I drank the Happy Juice today after doing this whole reboot system, y'all, where I pooped my brains out for a whole week. Like, when I tell you, these pills, they weren't drugs or anything bad. They're just supplements. They made me poop so much that I couldn't believe that could come out of me.
I know. And Nicole, think of that. When I was tapering, I did the reboot. I felt like it cleared out that taper.
Yeah. Oh, I bet.
I don't know. crazy.
What are you doing to help you besides Happy Juice? What do you do during the day and like to keep yourself busy, to keep your mind from thinking about drugs or alcohol? Do you have triggers? How about that?
Yeah. So, in my recovery, I've just been doing I meditate before bed every night because I have a hard time doing it in the mornings. I listen to like ASMR, sound baths. I keep busy through the day, and I moved in my recovery. I moved out of that town that I was in. So even if I do have triggers, there's no way I can act on it because I've lost all people, places, and things that I could access it.
That's what I was just talking about earlier in the live. Alicia, if you're in the chat, she asked me, she said, what do you do if people offer you drugs? And my first question is, why are you around people that are offering you drugs? Like, I don't go around people that are using substances anymore.
Me neither.
You know? And when you got sober, did you have a period of time where you tried to hang on to those old friends that were still using drugs?
Yep. I sure did.
I think we all do. And that's why for so many years, I didn't get sober and stay sober because I kept going around people that were using substances still.
I sure did. But, Justin was so great that he really was able to distance me slowly from those people. And that's what I do in recovery. I mean, it's not like a certain thing. Like, I can't tell you there's a certain thing. This is what I'm doing to help me. I think it's just a combination of everything. You get right with your mind, your body, and you just feel more healthy, and you do better. And in my recovery, Nicole, you know this, in my TikTok videos and stuff, I don't say that I'm completely 100% sober because I'm not. I take an antidepressant. I smoke medical marijuana before I go to bed.
Yeah.
I don't smoke it during the day, but I smoke it to help me sleep at night. And, I think that's okay for people in recovery. You recover how you need to recover. And
listen to me. I think you're sober, but you use plant medicine. I say like Cali sober is what I would say. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you use plant medicine. There was a time where I was experimenting with plant medicine, and the only reason why I didn't stay with it was because I couldn't stop eating because of it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like whenever I would use plant medicine, I would be like, I ate a whole platter of lasagna.
Yeah. I know.
Plant medicine.
Nicole, because of my hyperthyroid, I have a real bad appetite. And so at nighttime is when I usually eat, like in the evenings. And and the marijuana helps me to get an appetite. And I will eat so much. Like, it is crazy. I say to myself, I can see how people get addicted to food if this is how they feel.
For sure.
Crap. I don't know, but it benefits me in two ways. It benefits me for my sleeping and my appetite, which I really need because I'm trying to gain weight, but I
don't think you need to gain weight. I think you're the perfect size. Honestly, I wish that I could be like your size. I feel like I would feel so much more confident if I could lose a little bit of weight,
People tell me all the time, you're so skinny, like you need to eat a cheeseburger.
Hey, what's the link to your link tree?
It's in my bio.
Okay. Well, just let me go find it because I was going to link it here.
It's in my Instagram bio and my TikTok bio.
Your Instagram is Natalee King? Yeah,
with 3s.
Okay. Yeah. There we go.
But I had someone ask me, I never smoked weed.
We both have kids, just so y'all know. So she has 2 little boys. Mm-hmm. I have 1 little boy. And so we're not perfect, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're not like, do you take your medicine at night, your marijuana to go to sleep? You don't do it during the day?
No.
She takes her marijuana to go to sleep at night. I take my antidepressant, which is Lexapro. I quit taking my Wellbutrin because it just stopped working. And I've been off of Wellbutrin for almost a whole month now.
How do you feel?
I feel like I can't even tell that I stopped. It must have not been doing nothing. It must have been doing absolutely nothing because I had no withdrawal from it at all.
I was on Wellbutrin. It did nothing for me. Nothing.
I was on it for so many years, for like 5 years. I got out on it in 2018 because I went to my doctor and I was starting to gain weight. And I was like, I need help. I need motivation. I cannot get myself to move around. And he was like, here's some Wellbutrin, right? I got on Wellbutrin and I got even fatter.
What?
You know, and I got more lack of motivation. But when I first started taking it, it gave me like this really jittery feeling.
Yeah.
So in my mind, oh, it must be working because I got a jittery feeling. You know what I mean?
Do you take Abilify?
Mm-mm. Just Lexapro.
Okay. I was
That's
on
it.
Abilify and it would give me that feeling. Abilify gave me a feeling of like, I wanted to spend money and shop, like impulsive things.
Yeah. Oh, well, I have that problem no matter what. I just bought 2 opal rings in the last month.
I know
that were expensive, and I shouldn't have bought them.
Dude, I do too, though. I'm horrible at spending money.
Do you, Melissa wants to know if you have any issues with your gut from like eating regularly. Like we drink milk, we eat cheese, we eat meat. Do you have any gut issues?
So I did had like constipation issues while I was on Suboxone.
Mm-hmm.
I had it, 9 years. And
yeah,
I even had a surgery to like have hemorrhoids removed and everything.
Yeah, my sister had to have that happen.
It was bad. So anyway, I ever since I started the Happy Juice, I was just telling my mom about this the other day. I've been regular, like every morning, every day. And I have never gone to the bathroom every single day. Never.
Oh, that's bad. I feel my husband has that issue. I'm so fortunate. Like I can take opiates, you guys, and still poop every day.
Wow.
Even at the height of my addiction to oxys, like I pooped every day.
Gosh, lucky
a bitch can poop.
I honestly, when I met Justin,
Sorry.
He would go every morning, and I used to tell him that is so weird. And he looked at me and he goes, "No, it's not weird. It's normal.
It's healthy."
And I looked it up on Google and I read it and I was like, "What the fuck?" I go like once every 4 days.
You will go toxic like that from your shit building up for so long.
Well, I did it for years. No wonder I had hemorrhoids. God.
Yeah, that's why. Neil has the same issue, and he can't poop either. And he was just actually talking about it because have you pooped today, Neil? He just goes. It's like little droplets come out.
That's like Justin, like little rabbit turds.
And it's like he has literally eaten. He had a foot-long meatball sub last night. I mean, we've eaten. So it's like, why isn't this poop coming out? That will make you sick. So that's another thing that helps you be regular is you drink your Happy Juice. And also that's also when you're drinking that Happy Juice, y'all, like that's also a big ass glass of water that you're just mixing the extra supplements that help you. So also combining and drinking water multiple times a day, even after you drink your supplement, you need to be drinking a lot of water. I drink water all day, every day.
Yep.
That's why I think that's why I have such an easy time pooping, because I always have. Where is my cup at? Oh, it was right beside me now. It was right there, but now it's over here. Okay. Yeah. I always have my cup with me, a big cup like this where
you need a what is it? A Stanley.
This lady made me this one. I want to show y'all real fast. It's so pretty. Where did it go?
I love it.
Oh, well, I probably lost it. Well, it's this beautiful one that says recovery is possible, that has my name on it and my sobriety date on it. It has glitter on it and everything. Aww. This lady made it for me. It was like a tumbler,
Yeah.
I need to have a couple of those made for all of us. You know what I'm saying? Like a little like Discovering Nicole Natalee King recovery tumblers or something.
Does she sell them? I'll buy one from her.
She does.
I can buy one.
I'll give you her link whenever we get off here, but she is super talented and they're really pretty. This one's so nice. It's like, I'll show it to you after we get off here. I just can't find where I stuck it.
Yeah.
But I drink, no, it's the white one with the glitter that goes up the side of it that says my name on it, Nicole. But Natalee drinks water. She's playing with her kids. And I think and you are in a mindset to be positive. So like you came off Suboxone 30 days ago, but you're changing your mindset to focusing on, hey, I just overcame a 9-year dependency to my Suboxone, and now I'm changing my life and turning my life around in a positive way, which there's nothing wrong with being on subs, you guys. You can stay on subs for the rest of your life.
Nothing's wrong.
But for Natalee, it was just not conducive for her anymore. So she wanted to get off. She had been working on it since I met her on TikTok in 2020.
And honestly, Nicole, I never even knew if I would totally be off of it. I really didn't. I didn't give myself high expectations. I just kind of went with the flow and listened to my body, and it just worked out. It just worked out.
Totally.
So
I
would have been okay if I had to stay on it forever. I would have. But
Brandon says Brandon just got on Sublocade yesterday. He switched from Suboxone to Sublocade. And Melissa's making a hydration log. Girl, you better, because look how plump my skin is.
I know,
it's because I drink all the time.
I need to drink more water too.
Today when we were doing my makeup, I have slathered this freaking UV sunblock on. I never used to use sunblock, and that's how I got this sunspot right here.
Yeah.
That's a sunspot. It's like a huge cluster of freckles from the sun. And so now I make sure I put sunblock on all the time. But anyways, I don't know why I'm talking about sunblock and shit. I'm talking about skincare and everything. I just want you to come on here and share with everybody how you're able to stay sober. And even after all the loss that you've had throughout your life, you are still able to stay positive and change your life. And Natalee's constantly looking for new ways to like help other people. Like I've been connecting her with some new opportunities so she can help more people and stuff.
I'm a stay-at-home mom with my 4-year-old. He's going to be starting school VPK here soon. And I want to, because of my TikTok following, I want to start helping people because I have a lot of people reaching out to me.
Right.
And this is near and dear to my heart because, I'm an addict. My sister died from addiction. It runs in my blood, and I want to help other people. And I know what it's like to have mental health issues as well. My dad suffered from it. I suffered from it. My sister has. So I just want to, I want to help people, Nicole.
And I'm excited because I think you're going to help a lot of people. But if you are going to come out of your little cubby hole because your kid's going to go to pre-K or kindergarten.
VPK, yeah.
Okay, and then you are going to be able to like do things during the day when he's not there. You're going to be so bored. You'll be kept busy though if you start doing, like if you start working with Richie or you start doing the stuff that I've been doing, you will be busy all day long on your phone all day long.
Well, that's what I need.
Helping people though. It'll be for the positive.
And that's what keeps me in recovery. That is what keeps me in recovery. Honestly, that's another thing that helps is my social media.
It's helping people. Yeah, for sure.
It's helped me stay in recovery and heal. Like I feel at peace,
It helps you stay accountable because you know that you have 100 and 200,000 people over there that when you sign on, if you're all fucked up, they're going to be like, Natalee, what's going on? Are you okay?
Yeah, you can't do that.
You know what I'm saying? And you can use social media, you guys, as a positive influence on your sobriety, or you can let it be a negative influence on your sobriety, and using it as accountability is what I've done. Because I think that same way, I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't just come on here and be all fucked up. They're going to be like calling me out and shit,
Yep. Yes, you have. I mean, it's crazy. I never thought I would have people like looking up to me in my recovery, and now I feel like I have another reason to stay in recovery and stay sober.
Absolutely. You have your 2 boys, you have your husband, you have me because I'm your best friend now.
I know, I love Nicole.
And you have all the people on social media. I think that way too though. I think when I lost my YouTube channel, I thought, oh my God, what about all the people that I had connected with on there? And that's the only way we were connected, Yeah. Natalee's TikTok is not N-O-T Natalee King. So look for not Natalee with 3 E's King, right?
Right. Because if you know me in person, no, you don't.
But she has a real, you have to go watch her TikToks about her dad, and she puts together some really, you'll be crying if you watch her major TikToks where they've gotten like a lot of views on them, you know. They're the ones about her dad, and then the ones about her husband, and then the ones about her coming off benzos. Go watch those videos. They're really fucking
on there. I'm real open like Nicole is.
Yeah.
I answer any questions. So if you guys have questions about anything, like I've probably answered it.
I know you would, Pixie. Pixie said, I'd be the first to call you out. I know. I love you, girl. Okay, so I have to get off because I have a meeting with so you know guys how I do the social media account management? Well, with each client, we meet with them like once a month to make sure that we're meeting their needs. And so today we have a meeting with Talia, she's a therapist that does she does marriage and relationships therapy. So we're meeting with her today in like 15 minutes to talk about whether or not we're meeting her expectations and stuff like that. So I have to do that. But if you guys want to, I know you want to follow Natalee here on Facebook, or you can follow her on TikTok at Not Natalee King, Natalee with 3 E's, Nataleeeeking.
That's on Instagram.
Oh, and on Instagram.
TikTok is just regular Natalee King.
Okay. Not Natalee with 2 E's.
Yeah.
But I'll tag all her stuff in the description of this video. But and also she has a link to the supplement, the Happy Juice supplement, and you can get it through her on there also. So just go follow all her social medias, and you'll see Natalee a lot more. She'll probably come on and hang out with me and do lives with me a lot more because we talk on the phone every single day. We're becoming really good friends.
So we can do it on here.
Exactly. I love you, girl.
I love you too, Nicole.
I'll text you after I get out of that meeting, okay?
Okay.
All right. Bye, y'all.
Bye.